tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us for another AfterBuzz TV after show for Downton Abbey, Series 6. Can you believe it? This is the final series. And I'm John Comerford. I'm joined in the studio by Tamara Berg.
Hi, everybody.
And Courtney Stewart.
Hello, hello.
So good to be back. Thanks for listening. And by the way, thank you very much for your patience. We had a couple of days to get going on this because we built the brand new studios. We're in a brand new location, whole new studios.
It's so exciting.
Thank you very much.
It may not look that different to the people watching or listening, but it's very different for us, and it's pretty darn exciting. It's been...
And 5 new studios instead of 3. So
Yes.
We're in the big time.
Okay, that's enough for us, but thanks for everybody who participated, who volunteered, who did all that work. Yes.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
I just wanted to
thank
thank for all their work, and it was a pleasure to work with them, and it was enjoyed. Thank you very much, Steve.
Yeah, there's been a lot of work done for weeks and months around here.
Certainly a lot of hands involved.
And speaking of thanking the fans for waiting,
yes.
We're not drinking. Courtney and I are not drinking today. Because it's early in the day. Yes. Starting next week will be Monday nights at 5 p.m. And so 5 p.m.
we're allowed to drink.
Cocktail hour. So we'll start next week. Those of you who I know are fans of us drinking while we podcast.
I'm surprised the time of day stopped you.
Well,
yeah.
Thanks for Tamara for being on top of that, because I would not have.
All right, we got to get into the show because, as always, there's a bunch to cover.
A lot to cover.
We got Patmore got a commission. Mary gets blackmailed. Denker gets dunked, and let's start off with Downton Downsizing. So we're 1925. We're already seeing it happen. The Edwardians are coming to an end, and they're the auctioning off of the
neighboring
estate,
or
whatever you want to call it.
Well, and we're just a few months after the last episode that we saw, which was Christmas. So, it's a matter of months later,
and this is already occurring,
it's
and
already happening.
Yes, and the word gets out very quickly.
Yes.
One of my favorite parts was when Carson and Lord Grantham are discussing it. And Carson's so put upon that they have to downsize.
I know.
We're already down to 1 footman.
We clearly disapprove.
Oh,
yes, he does.
It's
he
terrible.
doesn't like it at all.
Yes, but I just love the downsizing and how that kind of it happened then. We've seen it like crazy over the last decade. So,
yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a very interesting comparative.
Happens everywhere all the time.
Yes, exactly. But what was also fun was how it fed into everybody else. That Thomas was very concerned that they were because nobody likes Thomas, so I'm out.
He's like, that's why he's playing with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to make himself indispensable.
Right? Exactly.
Who else is going to give,
Come on, Marigold.
Exactly.
Let's go for a horsey ride.
Exactly. I thought that was great.
Because of all the people in that kitchen who are going to befriend a child,
would not.
I think he might be the very last.
Hey, he's smart.
Yeah, and making it well known. Oh, I had her on my back for 20 hours.
Day.
Yes, exactly. And then, of course, Andy, and he's saying, well, I'm trying to help Andy out and show him the right way. And everything. I'm indispensable, of course. And Andy, of course, he's first in or last in, first out. So he's ready. He wants what's going to happen to me. So, and it spreads like wildfire because Isabel tells Denker. I'm sorry, Violet tells Denker what's happening, and of course tells her not to say anything. And the first thing she does is go to Pratt.
Runs out to tell him.
And the two of them ran, and that was kind of fun because I forgot about them too for a second. I said, "Oh, that's right, they're at odds, and they always will be."
A great relationship.
It's very entertaining for us.
Supportive.
Yeah, the broth caper was just last episode.
Exactly. So we have that. We're running on the heels of that.
Yeah.
And she was so happy to spread the word that he's going to be
of course, because Violet could not have a lady's maid. I mean,
no, yes. I hardly think she could dress herself. Heaven forbid.
I know. And Violet, of course, wouldn't. Never.
Yeah. So
yes. And I thought,
except Violet's not very precious in that sense.
Yeah,
if it comes down to it, she can be very practical.
What is the phrase she says? There are certain traditions I'm not willing to
part with
and stuff. So I go, well, that's one of them. But I just loved Sprat's expression. I loved his look.
He's perpetually sour. He's he's got vinegar in his mouth all the time.
Vinegar in his mouth. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And side eye.
Yeah, exactly. And then the faux pas he makes by telling her to get it. Why did you tell her yourself? And it catches him by surprise.
He's like,
momentary Tourette's.
Wish I could put that back in my mouth.
And then, but he actually has the presence to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
And says something. I was even surprised with that. It's like, wow, that's kind of adult of him.
Yes.
He's much more petulant than that usually.
Exactly.
But and of course, I just love how Denker gets her comeuppance.
Of course.
And how Violet does it by saying, what's his name? Sprat let it slip out. She just let it slip out.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, and she travels all the way to Downton
and shares it with everybody at Downton.
Yeah.
She needs company in her misery.
Yes.
And fear.
She just likes to be a jerk.
Well, and that was kind of, who was it that said that about how they should share it? We should just tell one person, it'll just ripple through everything else, and clearly it does.
Oh, yeah, that was Carson.
Yeah,
he was talking about possibly breaking it up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, and clearly it does. But that was fun because now we get to see that Decker's going to stick around. We're going to see them, she and Sprat going at it like crazy.
Oh, there's going to be a romance by the end of this.
I know. Thin line between love and hate.
Yeah. You guys, are you seriously? Wait a minute.
They're going to get caught
exclusive?
in like Violet's special room or something. And it's going to be so inappropriate. Poor Violet's going to like pass out.
She's going to have to move.
One of those angry kisses, John. You've seen him in the movies.
Oh, okay. All right.
I hate you. You make me crazy. I must kiss you now.
Is there going to be a slap involved before the kiss or after? Or both? I don't know.
Maybe.
Ooh, yeah. I do not know.
This would be interesting.
It could happen.
Yeah, boy, that'll be talk about a season arc. That's going to be wow, is he going to make that turn?
We'll see.
Well, I'm sure it's within the fellow's capabilities. So that
maybe Denker likes vinegar.
Yeah,
hey,
she likes that.
She is
very
herself. So.
All right, okay, but along with the downsizing, we go to the auction.
Yes.
And they're selling off all the paintings and etc.
Have you ever been to a garage sale, which is the closest thing I can relate to, after someone has passed?
Oh, sure.
I've been, and it's sort of like, or an estate, an estate sale. Sure. Yeah. And on one hand, you're kind of going in and going, look at all this stuff that could possibly be mine. But if you at all open up your heart a little bit, it's very sad.
Very sad. It's
very
like,
sad.
And you go, but I can get such a good deal.
Right. But talking about the wedding gift.
Yeah.
And all the history behind
the
items.
It was uncomfortable.
It was very awkward. They had paintings of family members that they can't do anything with, and
I was thinking about
room, and
they would have to have so much artwork to cover those walls
and tapestries and things.
I was like, you gotta get rid of it.
Personal.
So, that was
interesting though how Lord Grantham. I mean, he said it's sad, but he just sort of went, yeah, it's sad, isn't it? And Mary, of course, who doesn't really have sympathy as part of her genetic makeup, kind of walking through going, we could be next.
Exactly.
Maybe it's just the British stiff upper lip, but, watching them walk through and seeing that whole thing, I was just like, because you have to know that train is coming for you.
Okay,
next.
now here's the thing.
Yeah.
We saw that, right? And the way we felt about it. Now, I mean, if you're thinking down the road, he's going to do that with Downton, right? We're going to have that. And as that was happening, as I'm watching that, I'm going, that's going to really sting.
It's going to
That's going to be
hard.
really sad when that happens, when they start carrying things out of Downton and stuff. That's going to be brutal.
Oh, that makes my stomach turn just a little bit.
Because that's where we're headed. I mean, we got to, right? I mean, we've got to go there, right?
Yeah.
Sad.
But Daisy.
Oh, yeah, Daisy.
Daisy's not taking it laying down.
Not having it.
No.
Don't mess with Mr. Mason.
Right?
No.
Yeah, so she's finding out Mr. Mason is probably going to get kicked off of his property and this farm that he's done everything
kind of hers in a sense, because I think he's already said that.
Yes, it will be hers.
Yeah.
But I don't think it had anything to do with her and what it might be for her, but just that she just was really.
Well, she's protective of
Mr.
Exactly,
Mason, which was nice to see, and it's good to see her with a lot of energy, a lot of gumption, moxie, all that kind of stuff. Wrongly placed.
Terribly misplaced.
Yeah. Like 15 people like, calm down, calm down, calm down.
Not having any of it.
I will not calm down.
Oh no, I have my hackles up.
Man. Oh, Daisy.
But it was good. It was great. I was like, okay, Daisy, let's see what happens to her.
You know, the other thing that I was thinking of at that moment was the new owner, the buyer, was sitting there. And first of all, how much money does that guy have to think that he can take on one of these, failing estates? One
industrialist or something.
And, a heartless bastard.
Because, I mean, wouldn't you break a little bit instead of getting angry at Daisy? Wouldn't you be like,
this is why we are not giant estate owners, Courtney.
If you were in the 1%, you wouldn't say that.
No, you wouldn't.
That's social engineering. Or something. I don't know what it is. Something. I was like, I don't know.
But yeah.
But as a soul, do you lose your soul? Like,
yes.
She's obviously just...
He did.
Yeah.
But luckily, Daisy does not lose her job, which was...
that was nice.
Which was...
Even though Carson wanted to fire her.
Oh, yeah. Well, because that's what you do. It's inappropriate. Absolutely.
But it's Daisy. Have a soul. Carson, he was like, if it were my choice...
Well, I think. What do you think? Do you think Lord Grantham had? It's like because he was kind of on the fence, but it was only Cora that said, "Do we have to?"
Yeah.
I don't think Grantham would have cared.
Yeah,
Well, he might have looked at it as a fortunate cutting.
Yeah, because I don't have to cut anybody else. Thank you very much.
Another wage I don't have to pay.
Making my decision easy.
Just won't replace her.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very expedient.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well.
All right, so let's move on to the Mary issue.
Oh, Lady Mary.
I thought it was just great because part of the it's not downsizing, but obviously Tom is now in Beantown. He's trying to make his name among the Irish in Boston. So and they literally have Mary taking over the reins, which I thought was kind of a little fun, little metaphor and stuff. That was nice. But falling off, so she's going to take a tumble or two along the way.
Talking about how unsafe side saddle riding was, and then she ends up falling off.
Exactly, when she's trying to. Okay, so there you go.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, a lot of foreshadowing.
Take the reins.
Well, not only that, but we'll get to it eventually. But falling off her high horse.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, because when she looked back, what made her fall was this
woman on the bridge,
who's looking to take her down, and did take her down.
Literally. But so $1,000. It's like, for her
that's
little.
A lot of
It's quid, John. 1,000 quid.
I beg your pardon. Forgot what it was. Sorry, 1,000 quid. For her little tryst in the Grand Hotel in Liverpool.
In Liverpool,
Yes.
So, and then Rita had, I was like, damn, she's not taking any prisoners. But then again, she's bought off for $50.
Yeah, in the end.
Yeah.
But she, I
thought this was gonna be really good.
Because she infiltrated the house.
Yes, just walked
twice.
Up in it, like
that's it.
Belonged to her.
Yeah.
Ended up talking to the Lord Grantham.
I know.
Thinking
walking right by everybody.
She was bold.
I think I will go in here, and here I go.
I know what I'm going. That's great. But then it's like, what? You got bought out for 50 quid, and and then you actually signed a confession.
Right,
come on,
that was the big mistake she made, was signing the confession.
She easily could have made more than that. I'm just saying.
Maybe she just had to take what she could get because she lost the job at the hotel because she had to steal the evidence, and so her other choices maybe hookerdom, and she didn't want to do that. So take your $15 and go about your merry way.
Yes,
that's probably how Lord Grantham said it.
Exactly.
It's either this 50 quid or hookerdom.
This is what I'll give you, or go be a hooker. Okay,
right.
Fine. I'll take that. Think she could live off that for what?
Because
a year?
Yeah, something. Who
How
knows?
long would that last?
Probably a long time.
I don't have the ratio.
There you go.
I don't know what the exchange rate is.
Isn't it interesting though that Lord Grantham is sort of seeing his daughters for who they are now,
right?
Yes.
Because this is really understanding Mary. I mean, he had a come to Jesus meeting, so to speak, with Edith at the end of last series, and here we have
apologized and how he said how much he should apologize to her
for letting her down when she was apologizing to him. And then here we have Mary, who on one hand he's really praising because she is becoming the manager of the estate and really stepping into her own, and has some faults as
baggage,
well.
so to speak. Some saddle baggage maybe. So, yeah, and of course the other father figure, Carson, is nothing, and she even says, "Is there anything I could ever do that would cause you to fall in your eyes?" And he says, "No." And I'm going,
Are you sure, Carson?
I think the key to that is Carson never finding out.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
that
Let
needs
him
to
have
be.
his mystery, his fantasy about who she is. Leave her up on the pedestal.
Absolutely,
he'd be very sad to know.
But I thought they were gonna make that play out a little bit.
A little bit more
with the
longer
fraud. I mean,
the blackmailing is like that. Okay, that's it. You think that's it, or are we gonna come back? Because I don't think she's not coming back. But maybe somebody else will. But why would you play that beat again?
I don't know.
Are we clearing the path for her to have another scandal? Is that what we're doing?
Maybe.
What's the deal?
I don't know, because you remember, was it Spratt who saw Mary as well?
Yeah.
In Liverpool.
Yeah.
So he didn't quite have all the evidence, but he even talked about it, and Violet defended her.
Right.
So I think we probably hit that as many times. Pardon the pun. As much as we can. I'm really sorry I didn't.
And you haven't been drinking.
I know. Just
great.
wait till next week. I think we've gone there as much as we can.
Yeah, I can't see doing it again. I'm just surprised that it was wrapped up so quickly, and for the 50 quid thing, because she's great in the scandals. Mary, I mean, that's what you want from her. Well, having sex to death with a Turkish emissary.
And standing outside of Downton, where Rita was behind her and just back from the hunt, and she just turns and says, "You're not the first person who's blackmailed me." The frigidity with which she delivered that line, it was just
But then the look on her face when she turned too, it was like, oh shoot.
Yeah, but she was a cool cucumber when she needed to be.
And then Dad Grantham is going, he learns this about her, the other stuff, but then he learned that he has confidence in her.
Confidence in her. Because times have changed.
Yeah, that she wasn't willing to cave for whatever. And I'm going, if that was the case, then why'd you even give her $50 to tell her to go away?
He wanted her to shut up.
Yeah.
But, he's not
how much a piece of paper cost with a confession.
So I thought that was interesting, though, that as a father, you're going, so no, I'm really proud of you. That you had this.
You stood up to her and you didn't.
You did something that was really wrong.
Well, she's not going to fall for anything.
Yeah,
but that's what a father would do to his son. In the same
What's that got to do with this? Is the Edwardians.
In that same situation, if
you
she
probably
were
congratulate him.
Probably,
yes. Exactly. Yeah. So,
but he's moving out of his Edwardiness.
Edwardiness.
He's moving beyond it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Accepting the world and the change.
Mm-hmm. But I thought the most interesting thing was, because we were talking about Lord Grantham and why he did that, he was thinking what it would do to Gillingham.
Yeah.
And his wife.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
Thank
it
you
wasn't
for bringing that
even
up.
in Mary's thought process.
Not at all.
Like, oh, right.
Right.
Forgot about that part
point.
of it. Yeah. Mm. So, Grantham, of course.
I mean, but would it really be on your mind about them being upset if you were married? No,
not if you were married, but that's the difference between the two. It's like, Lord Grantham actually has, some feeling about what kind of scandal it might have for somebody else. Mary's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I had that, I hit that, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
All right. And let's be over with this. Let's move on to Edith, because I thought the other sister.
Yes.
So she's having trouble with her editor because he doesn't like working with a woman. And I'm going, yeah, of course. But it was nice to hear that she, Cora says to her, well, you made the decision to stay with it rather than take the money. So Edith, because that would have been an easy thing for her to do, is just take the money. And so we see both of the sisters deciding to do something different, that they're going to work. Which is, there's that part of that change and the evolution going on in the zeitgeist at the time. But she's clearly not sure how to do it.
Right, and not entirely succeeding yet.
Yeah, and I like that. Well, it wasn't my tone. Like you're the owner. You can have whatever tone you want. So, but
she's got to grow into
it. Exactly. And the fact that the editor's giving her grief and stuff, I don't go, okay, this could be fun too, because she's saying that, well, I'm thinking moving to London because they don't care as much about a single mother. Nobody's bothered by it, or at least not as many. So this could be fun for her, right?
Absolutely.
Rosamond.
Yeah, and just side note, sorry for being a girl, but
Why are you apologizing? This is not the Edwardian way.
So just Edith was positively beautiful in this episode. I mean, her
such a girl.
makeup is pretty, her wardrobe is pretty.
Looking like
Yeah,
Frumpy
and you know, I was looking at
dowdy
pictures of her from the first and second series where she was. I mean,
wait a minute.
Really?
She's hot. She's single. She's got money now.
She is now, and we've talked about the progression. Yeah. But you know, she really does.
She's gonna have a scandal. Yeah.
Let's hope. I just think it's been so interesting, and I suppose it helped in building the character with making her very sympathetic of, you know, being kind of
losing
the sad ugly sister in quotes, you know, in the beginning, and now she's really, as you were saying, blossoming into something else. And but I feel they didn't have to quite go that far, you know, in the beginning.
You mean the beginning?
With just the
dowdy
appearance, how dowdy they made her. And
and they always make these comparisons to Mary. She said the alabaster, you know, queen and all this.
They had to though in the beginning because there was 3 of them, and so you had to have a very distinct
contrast,
and you really needed the middle child to have no place.
Yes, I know.
So otherwise, we'd have no poor Edith. You're middle child?
I am middle child.
You're both middle child?
Yes, we are. Middle of girls.
There you go. Yeah.
All girls.
Yeah. Same.
We understand your pain, Edith.
Yes, we do. Poor. I'm still calling her poor Edith because for sure something sad's going to happen.
But it'll be interesting to see because this is what I'm hoping for because we've seen her take the victim route and everybody feels sympathy for her and all that other stuff. But it will be interesting to see if she goes a different if Julian takes her in a different route where any kind of tragedy might befall her. Let's just see her be triumphant through it rather than, you know.
Well, my concern is the only tragedy that can befall her really at this point is Marigold.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know, I mean...
Well, she'll get another love interest, we hope. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, shoot, it's not loud enough.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. You know, Downtonisms from...
Something happening in this house is actually about me.
Where's that from?
It's a Downtonisms app. We've talked about it in the past, but it was really making me laugh this week when I was thinking about Edith and, you know... Poor Edith and how things may turn around for her now because we thought they were. But you know, I mean, she's really got some possibility in front of her,
right? Which is great. I think it further goes to the storyline of about Downton fracturing because we'll have Tom's gone. Although he'll be back to some degree.
Shh.
I didn't say it. Erase. Let me take that back.
Secrets
revealed. But Mary, of course, is taking this. So that's going to take away from the Downton because, she'll obviously still reside there, but she's going to be really heavily involved in work, I'm guessing. And then Edith will be in London. So we're seeing the fracturing as well as the dismantling. People are going to be leaving, downsizing, all those kinds of things. Right. So we'll see that happen.
So, you know, speculation is that this series is actually going to cover a number of years, not just months or a year like... they have in the past, that they're actually going to move into potentially 2 or 3 years in the future, but not all the way to the crash. Okay. So, you know, just with that in mind, certain things happening are going to be a little more plausible and probably a little more dramatic because you can have, you know, big things happen over the course of 8 months or a year. That you couldn't if it was just a few months happening.
Oh, and unless there's anything else to say about Edith, I'm going to move on to Isabel and Violet and the hospital that's come between them.
Debate.
The county is wants to take over the local hospital. Violet just will not hear of it.
She wants to take care of her own house.
That's right.
She doesn't want it in the hands of those big business people.
Faceless people.
Well, you're acting as if you run the place.
I do.
I actually do.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, the last couple of series, we've seen them growing together and being really supportive and having great times together.
That.
And we loved it so
much. This is terrific because they're also great when they're at odds, you know. It's like,
true.
My favorite line, Tamara, what do you have?
Does it get cold up there on the moral high ground?
Yeah, exactly. And I go, you want them at odds too, because it does bring them closer together when they finally get overcome whatever obstacles in front of them. Right. So it's just a great relationship between the two because I love the conflict and I love no one understands each other. It seems to me no two characters understand each other better than these two.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I agree. And none have seen as much, you know, all that history and experience and stuff like that.
And they hold a little bit of each other's confidence.
They do. I just love it. I think their relationship is very rich. Very rich, and I like it when they're in conflict. I like it when they're comrades. I like it. It doesn't matter. Just give me more of them.
And isn't it interesting that we've got Dr. Clarkson and Lord Merton, literally on either side.
Yeah, wonderfully staged. Way to go. Yes.
And her response to Lord Merton.
I'm glad we're on the same side of this.
Oh, don't get too excited.
Yeah,
Essentially,
don't
make too much of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'm done with you.
And how much do you think Dr. Clarkson was saying all that out of jealousy, and how much of it was really what he was feeling? 'Cause I think he's jealous.
He's jealous, but
yeah, you don't think that?
Well, not only is he jealous, but he had a special relationship with her. Mm-hmm. You know, when they were working together and they were supporting each other, and she was, you know, that was a really tight bond between the two of them.
The
through
hospital
the war
was their thing,
right?
And now she's sort of separated, and she wants to send it off to somebody else and give them power. So she's messing up the relationship twice.
But it's still in keeping with the character because it's always been about the health of everybody else and trying to make.
But in Dr. Clarkson's mind, it's been about them and their bond and what they've able to do together.
Well, it's because love is blind and he's blind. So you should go to a doctor and take a look at that.
Yeah, he should.
Yeah, it is kind of sad, but it's fun to see them at odds. I don't know how that's going to play out or anything like that, but I just like the back and forth and and they don't want to have a falling out. So Isabel made that clear. She doesn't want to fall out with Violet.
With Violet?
Yeah,
Isabel Violet.
So that's going to be a challenge to them. How to maintain that friendship while being at odds completely on some issue that's very important to them. So that'll be fun to see how
I think we've got
mature ladies handle that.
We've got some things.
Something that isn't as mature. Let's move on to Anna and Bates. It just
I
just can't.
All right. Okay, let's go over the first thing. Anna thinks she's pregnant and then she's not.
And we find out she hasn't been, 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she said twice, but did you say 3?
Yes,
okay.
this was the third.
Is this the third?
This was the third.
Okay.
So we don't know if she just thought it was a miscarriage or what.
One of the things I love so much when women can't get pregnant, and especially, in Edwardian England, darling, I've let you down.
Well, you have, for crying out loud. Thanks for noticing.
He wanted babies, and you can't do it.
Clearly, it's your fault.
Obviously, it's her fault.
Yeah. Chicks.
But she's devastated, about to fall apart. She still might be going to jail for that. Could we not get her off the hook for the stupid green death and then find out she's pregnant with the baby and everybody be happy for them for 2 episodes?
Don't be ridiculous.
What? And
Okay, but here's what bothered me about the whole thing. The whole, there might be a confession. There might not be a confession. Oh, well, it's going to take, it's oh, come on. You had a whole last series, depending on what side of the pond you're on.
Yeah.
Series or season, depending if you're in America and wherever it is, in whatever country you're from. So last
covering all the bases.
year,
good job.
Thank you. Last year, we had a whole 8 episodes to deal with. Really? Exactly. And then he wraps it up by this oh no, she confessed.
She confessed and it's real.
She confessed and it's real and stuff.
What?
So reminder,
Thanks very much.
Most unfulfilling story ever to happen in Downton Abbey is further unfulfilling. Thank you.
That was the thing.
Oh my God, I wanted to scream. You and I did scream to each other via Twitter.
Yes.
Or an email. She won an Emmy because this was so gut-wrenching and so real, and there were actual news stories, real news stories that came out, and and action, and victims' rights conversation, and all this kind of stuff. And then Julian Fellows is just
wrapped it
up.
What? Some stranger on the side of the road said, "Green, you're an asshole," and pushed him in front of a bus.
Yeah. The end.
What?
What's for dinner?
What? Maybe he was drinking when he wrote that storyline and didn't know what to do with it.
I hate this resolution.
So mad at it.
I hate this resolution. I really do.
Very, very upset about it.
Wow.
And on top of that, she can't have no babies.
No.
So thank you.
You can't have no babies.
She can't have any babies.
Well,
thank you.
that'll change, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, it'll change.
It's not going to change.
No?
She's had 3 miscarriages. She ain't having no kids.
All right.
It's 1925.
She just needs to live out in the country. Wait, in the village.
They
are in the
can't.
country. In the village.
They have no money if they live in the village only because they
That's
got to work at Downton and they're about to get fired from there. And what are they going to do?
I don't know.
Move to the city and inhale exhaust and die.
Maybe Julian Fellows will give us a really great resolution to find out.
It's
Marigold. They'll adopt Marigold.
Marigold. That's what's going to happen.
Because Edith is going to commit
poor
suicide.
Edith is going to die. And Marigold will need a couple. There you go. Wow, you guys.
Edith is committing suicide. Marigold will have to be raised by Anna.
Write it. You heard it here. Write it down.
Okay, write it down on 9/23. This is what we said.
And somehow Bates is going to come into money to be able to buy Downton, and really they're going to run through the forest and the fields of Downton at the end with Marigold, and all happy.
Wow. Why aren't you in the writer's room?
Yeah, I'm mad.
Okay.
I'm mad about the Anna thing. I've been mad for a year. I'm sick of it. I'm annoyed. I think that's all I need to say.
Yeah.
So there.
I am surprised though. Aren't you surprised that after months? I mean, because there's all kinds of feedback about that. This is the way he chose to resolve it.
Am I surprised?
Yeah. Don't you
yes.
think? Yeah. No, you're not.
I'm
because
not
this is in keeping
because
with
it already became such a mess last season.
Yeah,
like
he just
how
wanted
he was
to
dealing
get done
with
with it, move on.
And I don't think he cared about what we were saying anyway.
I think that's a very fair point that you make. Like he got himself way
How are you gonna come back
in.
from that?
Yeah. There was probably a point of no return that happened at some point.
Unless Green was the woman and never actually died, and then we got to see Bates shoot him when he came to get Anna again. Like I don't know. Like there was no way to fix it.
You have got to be in the writers' room. You'll be the cloud woman, the one that comes out with stuff out of the. It was like what?
I really hate how this came around.
And here's what I thought was doubly.
But I do agree with you that the he got so dug in, and by he I mean Julian Fellows, that he just had to like rip the bandage, get it done, let's move on.
Well, yeah, that's why I thought even this was not a really good rip of the bandage. He should have just ripped
done it last season.
Well, last season clearly, but most people agree with that. But even in this episode, why draw it out for the entire episode? It's good. It might be confession, might not be confession.
Maybe
why leave it hanging? It just seems ridiculous.
Like he just made it a joke.
But then, in the other thing that I think is bad about that is then you supplanted it with the fact that she can't have babies. And pardon the pun again.
You made it a joke, and then she can't have no babies.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
What are you doing?
It's like, oh my God. So, okay.
Anna still can't catch a break.
Yeah. Okay. So, unless there's anything more to say, I don't know.
That's what I say about that.
Very eloquent. Very well said.
Thank you,
Tamara.
Thank you.
That was good.
She's a graduate of college.
Yes, I am.
Speech communication.
Nobody needs words for that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. But why we saved it for last is a great storyline, which I hope they carry through for the rest of these episodes. Our final season is Hughes and Carson.
Yeah.
The thing you like to
me so happy and touched.
Yeah, it was just sweet.
It was very touching.
I mean, they continue that arc for themselves. This sweetness and kindness between them.
And it's such a great extenuation of the beachside.
Yes,
scene.
It's exactly what was in my head.
Yeah,
you read my mind.
Hit the same tone.
Yes.
And then first of all, it was just great when Mrs. Patmore gets her commission, and
how they
don't say anything and say everything.
Yes.
Oh, just with the yes.
I've had some commissions in my time.
I want to be clear about what we're doing or not doing. Yes. I mean, it's
perhaps you can keep the lights off.
Yeah.
It was so great.
It was hysterical.
And then I got sad for Patmore because she said she never had any.
Yeah,
like,
not that I would know, of course.
Exactly, but I said the way she was talking about it, the way she's Mrs. Hughes she's dressed in that frock that's just covering, smothering her and everything, and she's just see me like this. Like, she can't say anything like that.
No, nothing. But she didn't want to feel ridiculous.
I know, and it just seemed so real and honest and sad in a sense, and you just wanted to comfort her and say it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
And then what he said to Mrs. Patmore about her.
Which part? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That he did want to have a full marriage.
Nothing.
Yeah, he wanted a full marriage because he how much he loved her. Nothing would be satisfying, and not in that way, but just that. Of course, he wants to have a full relationship with her.
And him saying "I love her" was very revealing for him.
Yes, clearly. Yeah, that was just it was that whole arc that he wove in this particular episode. I thought was terrific. Hit all the right notes, and it was like, yeah, there you go, because you don't always see that on TV.
Right, and the sweetness of it, but also Mrs. Hughes, embarrassment and upset. Yeah. I think was it was just so. It was the perfect way to move into this relationship because there is so much formality between people,
and
especially him.
Especially then,
exactly.
Yeah. In their
they've maintained that formality. And she even says, she says, maybe you should call me by my first name. And I forget her first name.
Elsie.
Thank you. And he's not at work.
Good God, woman, have you lost your mind?
Yeah. It hit such great notes on that, and I'm going, man, that's really the sweet spot for them. Yeah, it was lovely, and it's terrific to see, and I can't wait. I really want to see that thing progress, that storyline, because to see Mrs. Hughes come into her own, or at least feel comfortable, enough to have that, because she must have, just the way she said, when I was a girl, I was quite fetching or whatever, that it was. Oh, what was gone? It wasn't even part of it, and to have that happen at this stage in life, that might be so. That's just really good stuff, huh? Right?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really sweet and cute. I like it.
It's like there is love after all that other stuff. Even when you think it's not, it shows up.
And it was just wonderfully delicate the way they didn't say anything.
Ever. They got through the whole conversation without actually saying,
oh, you mean, oh.
Those. Yes. Well, I've had my commissions before. Yeah.
I love.
And then when she had to talk to Carson, that was even worse.
She's so great. She's so great. Well, they're all so great.
They were fantastic.
That was terrific. Wonderful restraint in those scenes. That was great.
And I love that Lord Grantham is like, I don't have to call her Mrs. Carson, do I? Because that's too much.
That's too much.
It's too much. That
really?
I can't take.
You can pay off a blackmailer and get a signed confession, but you can't call her.
I gotta remember a whole nother name for this woman. It's not gonna work.
All right.
Can't work.
All right. What are we about to go on to news and gossip, or what have you got?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's get on to our news and gossip.
I do. I got a lot.
TV news.
All right.
For goodness sake, it's been a long time. I have some ratings that are really not great.
Of course.
So the premiere of this series came out at 7.62 million
Which
viewers.
Down from like 8, 9, or whatever.
No. Premiere of last series, 10.7. And the premiere of the 2013 series was 11.96. That's a huge dip.
Yeah.
I
think it's all because of the Anna thing.
But how
Anna
the
Bates thing.
the green thing worked out.
Right. Well, the Christmas special, the last episode we saw was 7.99, so it's dipped since then. But I think it has a lot to do with that, and that whole last series was kind of, we weren't the most fond of it.
No, but the Christmas episode was great.
Oh yeah. No, I mean fabulous. The whole series though. Last series was a little.
Last series, whatever.
Yeah. Kate Middleton, we talked about how she visited the set. I believe we did. I know I read about it. I just don't remember if we talked about it.
It's been so long.
She said that she was such a fan that she actually overstayed her welcome on set.
She wanted to move right in.
Jim Carter, who plays Mr. Carson, was talking on E! News. We love E! News. He says, I don't think she's been on a film set before or a TV set, so she was so intrigued by how different it looked on the screen, and in reality, she overstayed. She stayed long. She was having such a good time.
And she left a water bottle on the mantle.
Right, exactly. The pictures of her on set chatting with people and having a good time. But yeah, she apparently stuck around a little longer than she was supposed to.
We're trying to get stuff done here.
We just had the Emmys.
Yes, we did.
The other night, the Emmys were on Sunday night here in Los Angeles. The Downton Abbey's cast and crew were nominated for 8 Emmys this year and came away with 1 for hair. Hair.
I was only laughing at the delivery. I wasn't laughing at what that means.
Hair. Thank you. I think I worked on that. Oh, well. Sad. Essentially shut out.
Right.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it
but
does.
They did have good hair last season.
They did.
Yes, they did.
Rose was adorable.
Although I was criticizing Anna's wig this episode. I did not like her wig. Her wig did not look good.
Yeah, they're aging her. And it's not good.
Couldn't they just... Okay, if you will remember, Robert James-Collier, Thomas, the evil butler, ran a Just Giving campaign. That's his Twitter handle, the evil butler. Yeah,
I didn't know
that. Yeah, he is.
Thank God you're on this.
He ran a Just Giving campaign to raise money for the Chiltern's MS Center, where he ran the London Marathon last spring. He was... I want to make sure I get this right. The Chiltern's MS Center, which provides a range of drug-free symptom management therapies, as well as advice and support for all those with multiple sclerosis and their caregivers and family. His target was £10,000, and he raised over £16,000. I donated, just to say. When he made his goal, he promised that he would offer a follow-up of his Downton Wars.
Right.
Film that he shot that we saw last series. So the film was written and directed by Collier, and it was shot entirely on his iPhone. It's very silly. I watched it. It's very silly. It has great references. It made me laugh out loud several times, and I've tweeted out the link on my Twitter account, so you can look for that. And you can still donate to his cause.
Right.
So if you visit evilbutler.com.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great site.
Go to evilbutler.com and donate.
And donate, exactly. Downton producer Gareth Neame has leaked that this season series may not be the end of Downton Abbey, people.
What?
He stated that the series will end with, quote, a mixture of sweetness and sorrow, but that, quote, the door will be left open to come back to the majority of them in the future.
Movies. Movies, I feel it.
So we may have something to look forward to. And in case you're already dreading the Christmas special finale, which we all are, producer Chris Croucher did admit that he cried his eyes out when he watched it. And I know you and I know, just thinking about it, aren't you? Seriously.
I'm not happy about it.
I know. Finally, The Telegraph published a great video of Downton Abbey by the numbers with some fun scenes and statistics. And although some of them I don't think are quite right, they said that 27 Emmy nominations, which was how many Downton Abbey had, were the most for a drama series, but that's not true. So I think it had to do with in its first 2 seasons, they had 27. So pacing wise, they were ahead of everyone else. Yeah. Anyway, it's really fun little short video with lots of stats in it. And that's also on my Twitter feed. So you can take a look for that.
Okay.
And that is what we have for news and gossip.
All right. So let's move on to, projections, hopes, dreams.
Fantasies.
For this
your
final.
AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Does anybody have anything out right? Besides what Courtney has already offered?
Pull unicorns out my neck.
Exactly. Yeah. The more crazier, the better. But we didn't talk about it. Tom. Isn't that part of the news?
Well, it's not really.
Okay.
All this summer.
All right, so then let's be.
No, I'll just talk about it. Yeah, all this summer they, all the cast, and there was lots of press about people tweeting and sending out cast pictures as they were filming. Filming is complete now.
Right.
And Tom was there. He was on set.
So that's what it's gonna be.
He is in the picture, and several people were like, me included. What do you mean?
Well, he's got to come back.
He's gonna die.
Well,
part of it.
Courtney.
He's gonna die. Because everything is going in a very negative direction. The house is about to get sold off. He's gonna die. That's the Bates baby. They're gonna take that baby.
Oh, wow.
And baby Sybil, and Anna and Bates will have themselves a baby.
Okay.
And
not so much a baby anymore, but they'll have a child.
A child. Marigold's probably gonna die. But
oh my god!
But I think that she will find love upon losing her daughter in London.
So you think Edith will finally find
Edith will finally find
But the price of that will be the daughter?
Oh my god.
Because I just feel like he's going to stick with that whole like poor Edith thing. Because she never got Gregson back. Like, yeah, she finally kind of got her baby, but she can't really live her life the way she would like to because she's a single mom.
Yeah.
So the baby's going to like catch, I don't know, what do they get back then? Cholera or something? And she's going to pass away. But they're going to get her a man and she's finally going to be happy and she'll have her own money and be all great. And then... Mary, and then
she's going to lose it all.
I don't know. I see a variation of that because, technology was not in existence back. Even telephones were very novel at the time. So I can see Edith going to London, living her life as a widow with a child and, becoming this first publishing magnate and, becoming successful. And maybe a man comes along, maybe not. Maybe she doesn't need it.
I think that's
because I think she's more happy with Marigold than she was with Gregson, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to sound quite so cliche, but essentially that. Yeah, I think so. So maybe...
So I'm
looking at the sunny side, as I always
that just
do.
proves my theory, though, because her character never really gets her happiness.
Right.
So even though Marigold is her happiness, they're going to take it away.
Yeah.
And she's going to get, like, an okay happiness. She's going to get to work and build this amazing thing, and she might get a love that comes along, but
she will
Marigold
not have personality.
Stay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that it's going to be Mary that's not going to have a man in her life. She thinks she's going to be the one that won't.
Yeah, I think she'll end up alone.
She'll end up alone, but she'll end up some sort of power broker or something like that.
How can you follow Matthew? I mean, seriously.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
But she's going to have lots of flings.
Yeah. Lots of flings.
Lots of flings.
Yeah. But I'm just, because I want to have the devil's advocate point of view, I'm going to give Edith everything. I think I wanted to have the kid. I wanted to find love, and she'll have a job too.
Look what they've done to Anna.
I know.
Edith is getting nothing.
Oh my God.
You're probably right. But just for the sake of argument, I'm going to be rooting for it. Say, come on, give her a break. Fine, let the woman have some peace.
Something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, give her everything. She's endured all this. The fact that she's had to endure Mary for all these years. Give her to her. No?
Sure.
I'd like to believe.
I know.
I'd like to believe, but history says otherwise.
Okay, but Carson and Hughes.
They will be good. They're going to be happy.
Retirement. They'll walk on the beach with each other. They'll do that, and they'll have their
What did you just say?
They'll have sex. It's going to be great.
They'll see each other naked, and it's going to be great.
Okay, great.
Wonderful.
It's going to be fantastic.
And as long as it happens off camera, I think that's a great idea.
We're not going to. Please don't. We're good.
I don't think Anna will have a baby.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they'll do.
3 miscarriages.
Yeah. So
she won't have a baby. She might end up with a child. I just don't think
she might have a child, but I don't think she'll have a baby.
And it's not going to be her fault. It's going to cut Bates.
No, she was injured in the assault. That's what happened. So
that's the repercussion.
I could see that happening.
Stuff like that.
She ends up with Marigold?
Nah.
Marigold is dying.
Okay. What about the household? Thomas, is he gonna? He'll find a cockroach. Will find a way to survive.
Yes,
somewhere.
he will.
I don't know where he will though.
He'll be like a pub owner.
I hope that Daisy ends up.
He would be a good pub owner.
He would be
She's
great.
Gonna open a nightclub.
Yeah, exactly.
Called One-Handed Man. Wait. I mean, the end of 9 fingers.
No, and you can get a shot for free because he was shot in the hand. So, but Daisy will end up at the farm taking over.
She's going to buy the farm?
Yeah, she's going to buy the farm.
Let's hope.
Yeah, just because, why not?
Oh, maybe she goes to the city. She got her education and is trying to. She might do something with that.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here.
We do.
Right. It's time to wrap up.
Exactly.
We're so giddy to see each other and talk to each other.
It's been so long.
Thank you for
now,
joining us,
to everybody
you
who's
guys.
listening, first of all, thank you again for being patient with the new studios and us getting on the air. We appreciate that. And secondly, please let us know what you want for this last series.
Predictions.
What your hopes are.
Please send us predictions.
And the crazier, the better.
You can put them on our YouTube comments. You can also tweet either Courtney or me.
Yes. At Stuart Starlet.
And I'm at Tamara Berg.
And
Sir John, you can't find us
I'm here
anywhere.
building studios.
Hashtag Sir John.
So if you want to find me here. But thanks again. We appreciate your patience. It's so good to talk to you. And we can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. We will talk to you next time.
Yes,
Monday,
we will.
Monday.
Monday.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Glass of wine.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.